Call the meeting of the Leitchfield Utilities Commission to order for Thursday, March the 21st. You have a draft of the minutes of our March 7th meeting. If there are no additions or corrections, would entertain a motion to approve those. Motion by Pudgy, second by Mayor Miller. Any discussion about the minutes? All in favor? Aye. The next item is the approval and the ratification of the bill list. Any questions about any of the bills?
Move to approve the bills, Bob.
I'll second.
Motion by Mayor Miller, second by Mr. Ferris to approve the bill list. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
You previously had the January 2024 financial statement. Sabrina would like to have those approved. Is there a motion to do that? Motion by Mr. Jones, second. Second by Mayor Miller. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
The next item is City Clerk Lori Woosley is requesting pay increases for the following employees, and that's employee number 2337, an increase of 50 cents per hour, and then employee number 1873, an increase of $1 per hour, but to be done in two increments of 50 cents. 50 cents when she changes her position, then about 50 cents when after about 90 days to make sure she's comfortable in doing that new position. I think you were given an email and some explanatory things behind that. Any other questions about that? Would entertain a motion to do that.
Do we need to do both of them together or separate?
We can do them together.
I'll move that we give both raises as recommended by the clerk.
I'll second it. Motion by Mr. Ferris, second by Mr. Jones. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I do not see any visitors that we have this evening. Under unfinished business, at our last meeting, the mayor said that the council was discussing making Good Friday a paid city holiday. And we, of course, were not meeting before they did, but Sabrina did forward us some information as to about what that would cost us. I think it was about $2,300 or something like that. And I received that. I did not forward any comment because, you know, after kind of reviewing that, did anybody else have anything? I think we just need to note, I don't think there's any reason for us to do anything in our meeting now other than the fact that make note that they
Note of it, yeah.
make note that the information was provided to us and we had a comment period. The city adopted it and just kind of recorded in our minutes. The next item of unfinished business is the bypass lift station project. We had authorized Superintendent Embry to maybe advertise for bids, but I still think there's a little bit of a delay in getting to that point.
No, we got with Brandon late this afternoon. There was some paperwork that he should have sent out late last week, but I only received it today. We're going to put the ad in the paper next Saturday on the 30th, and we intend to open the bids on April 19th
Okay.
for that project. And I contacted, it'll go, he'll put in Dodge reports, and there's another one now that it'll go into that it'll get most action on those. I don't remember the name of the other one. I know one of them's Dodge and the other one's.
We comfortable with that time period though, as far as making sure that people will have enough time to gather?
He seems to be. I was a little concerned about it, but it has to be it can't be in the paper more than 31 days.
More than 7 to 21.
7 to 20.
Yeah, 21. I meant 21. 7 to 21 days. So it falls within those time,
Right.
that time frame.
All right. Any other comment or, Dave,
Yes.
you?
We have received the easements back signed, and they are recorded. And they were quite extensive, as you well know, and so I want to make a copy of these. I want to put it on the record, put a copy of these, and Lori's going to put them in the minutes. she and I have been talking. We have searched and searched for old easements, and we just can't, we just had an awful time with them. And I would like to see us in the future, for each particular project, to have a particular folder on that, the engineering drawings on that, if we have any engineering drawings, and the easements in that, so that we can keep track of these. Now, it's my understanding, and Lori and I have looked for old easements before our time, and they're not recorded, and at least we can't find them.
Yeah.
And so that's really concerning. And so I've been recording all of them, but that's a concerning situation. We've got to make sure these easements are recorded. And so Lori and I, if it's all right with you, are going to work on a policy here. We're going to put all this stuff, and we're going to get this squared away. And she and I have talked about it pretty extensively, and how we're going to do it. We think we've got some ideas. And so if that's all right with everyone, that's what we're going to do. I would say one other thing about these easements. These people were great to work with. They had a lot of questions, and I answered all of them. But now, we're talking about a lot of work and inconvenience for people to sign these. These were people in Colorado, people in Georgia that own this property, and they had to go and get notaries. So look at these things when you get if you come, and I wrote a letter of thanks on behalf of the city to all of these people, thanking them for we didn't charge us a penny, and thanking them for their gracious cooperation with us. And they have been very cooperative. So Lori's going to put those in the minutes, and if you have any questions, you can look at them. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Any other questions about this project? Comments?
Excuse me.
Okay. The next item is any other unfinished business before we move on that maybe just wasn't listed. Anything that we've talked about before that needs to be readdressed. If not, under new business, you have a copy that I want you to take with you. It's basically a draft of a line extension policy to be updated. And this has been provided to us by Matt Baker, whom we've worked with before. But I want us to kind of go over that and red line portions of it that we don't think we need or want, but it's a starting point. And really, I think David Roof, our foreman, needs to be involved with this. Dwight, and I think Dave Vickery is going to be involved. I'd like to see us maybe set a meeting, not where we have to have a special call meeting to where that, but if those individuals plus one or two commissioners to where we don't have a quorum would like to go over that with them. Let Dwight coordinate that with Dave, and David let you all know, and as long as only one or two of you go, then we'll be okay. Is that right?
Yeah, this is pretty extensive, and it's pretty in-depth, and I think, we've been trying to encourage growth in the community, and I don't want to stifle growth in the community. We don't want to do that. We want to make it easier for the people to apply and do these things. They've got required for engineering drawings to be approved at the Department of Water, which I don't believe is required. I don't think the law requires that. Dwight, is that not correct? And I'll look again.
Yeah, you're right.
And we don't want to they don't want to have a registered engineer to send this stuff off and get it approved at the Department of Water. But a lot of things in there that need to be tweaked.
Right.
We've got a lot of good ideas in there, but we need to tweak it. And it'll take us quite a bit of time to go through it line by line, and that's what needs to happen.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted to provide each commissioner with a copy of that to start and to kind of get your ideas on how to go forward from that. But yet, it'll be something that we can, when we get finished with it, I want it to be something we can adopt to where it'll be consistent and provide clarity to people and provide clarity for us. Anything else about that for
Well, we
this
just want
meeting?
everyone to understand that they're being treated equally. They're not somebody being
Right.
treated one way and other people being treated another way. I mean, that's a real important factor, I think.
Right.
But yet we want to encourage all the growth we can.
All right, so take that with you, and then Dwight will coordinate those meetings. I'd like to see us kind of set a target date of maybe the first meeting in May, to have something ready to adopt. I mean, that gives us all of April and a few days in May and the rest of March to kind of get together. But if we don't kind of set a goal, then it could be September and we never done anything with it. So, yeah, just record that hopefully, we'll each do our due diligence and have this ready for action by first meeting night in May. Any other new business?
Bob, let me back up on old business for a second concerning the wastewater treatment plant. Benton Brandon filled out a lot of paperwork for Benton. There was some information needed on the bypass lift station project, but there was one thing that Brandon had left out. So Benton's trying to get that filled out by Brandon. As soon as he does, he said he would send a revised copy to the Kentucky Department of Water, and then he would send us sample resolutions for the city and the council to adopt, along with 2 copies of the facility plan. So that's the status on that now. So it's moving forward. I'd forgotten to mention that earlier.
All right. But again, that has to do only with the facilities plan. It's not really
Yes, that's correct.
which is separate and apart from the actual treatment plant project.
Correct.
But it's step 1, basically.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions, comments, unfinished business?
The one thing won't pertain to that, but before you examine the idea about the gas extensions, I mean, where they're all stubbed up where there's no meter there. And there's a bunch of them that's out in the middle of a hayfield or.
The
what have you.
risers, the risers that Brad talked about when he addressed us. Dwight, I mean, you want to report on, you had a meeting after that meeting with Brad and.
Yeah, Brad's taking inventory. He's taking a new inventory on the risers. And we're working on those, and we've kind of switched some manpower around to where the risers can get more attention than they have been. We can concentrate.
Well, yeah, a lot of them run off of bush hogs and tire them. Gas leak, liable to jerk the gas line out of the ground, everything.
Yeah, a lot of them that, and we talked about them some years ago and about a policy that if they want to keep the riser, if it's been dormant for a certain period of time, and I did look that up at what we passed, and we're going to enforce that. I'm not sure how strictly we've been enforcing that. If the person wants to keep their riser after it's been vacant for a certain period of time, then they'll pay a minimum monthly bill to keep that. And if not, we'll remove it. And but we've moved some manpower around, so those should be concentrated on this summer.
Any other question about that? Okay, any other business?
I have one item just an announcement. I've got a meeting, our next meeting in Louisville, and so it's very doubtful I can be back by 5. So if any of you have any questions or anything you need to ask, just call me before the meeting.
Okay.
I doubt seriously that I can make it back by 5.
All right. The date of that meeting is April 7th?
7th.
The 10th, won't it?
The first meeting in April,
No,
ours is
no,
on
I'm
April
going
Fool's
backwards.
Day, so it'd be what, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the
Fourth.
April
It's the
14th.
4th, I guess it is.
Yeah. All right.
The
Yeah.
3rd.
Yeah, April 4, so make note of that our council will not be present at that meeting. If you have any discussions with him, make sure you try to get that before the meeting. March Chamber Luncheon's April the 11th. Please let Lori know if you're going to attend that. Any other business? Entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mayor Miller, second by Mr. Alley. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.